You're watching Good Morning Suncoast at 6.
Welcome back. Warm start, 70 degrees on this Wednesday, February 21st. I'm Ray Collins.
And I'm Stephanie Webb. Halfway through the week, and those temperatures are looking good out there again today.
Yeah, John says we broke yesterday by, did you say by 5 degrees?
Yes, sir, by 5 degrees.
What was it then?
Pardon me?
How high was
90.
it? 90.
90 degrees. In fact, it was not only a one-day record, it was the whole month record. And in Tampa, they broke a record for the warmest day of any winter since the 1800s. Yesterday. Yeah. That warm temperature trend will continue on again today, and we may well break a record today. Today's record is going to be a little tougher, though, because 87 is our record today. Although I think we will break it, we're going to be pretty close to it at 88 degrees by about 3 o'clock this afternoon. If we don't cool any further than we are right now, we'll also break the record for the warmest morning on the day. So we'll see. This warm weather trend really just continues under the influence of a big ridge of high pressure. No rainfall in the forecast for us today. Hardly any cloud cover. The UV indexes will be high. If you're going to spend the day at the beach, be sure and slather up. Use that sunscreen because the UV index will be at about a 7 today. 10 out of 10 chance of being outside for recess today. We'll have mostly sunny skies and temperatures in the upper 70s to mid 80s for the recess period. We'll look for some pleasant weather over the weekend too. We'll detail that coming up in just a few. Back to you guys.
All right, talk to you soon. Thank you, John. Checking first alert traffic right now. Some early buildup there on the Green Bridge from Palmetto into downtown Bradenton. Also 301 at 70, a little blip there northbound. Checking farther south now, you'll see on Clark Road some issues, particularly in the eastbound lane around McIntosh, also 75 northbound as you pass over Clark. South County, not much to report. We'll take a close look now at the Northport and Charlotte County line and find out that is all clear at 6:02 now on your Wednesday morning. A live picture outside. Our live camera today on the Sarasota Bayfront. Pretty picture of the Ringling Bridge at 6:02.
Looking beautiful out there this morning, as always, and it's going to be a good day. Well, Bradenton police detectives are investigating after a second note was found threatening a shooting at Manatee High School.
Our Marla Spence is live on the campus with more on the increased police presence there. Marla?
Yes, students, faculty, and staff are all on high alert this morning after a letter threatening a shooting for today was found on the campus of Manatee High School. Now, that letter was found yesterday by detectives as they were investigating an initial threat from last week. That letter found also threatening a school shooting at Manatee High School, and that letter stated the shooting would happen tomorrow. That student connected with that initial letter and threat was arrested, and so far this seems like it's been an ongoing issue since the horrific shooting in Parkland, Florida. So far, 4 middle and high school students from Manatee County are facing multiple felony charges for separate threats against their schools on social media.
Talk to your children, look at what they're doing on social media, because that's how it's being done for the most part these days, and to continue to talk to their children about threats of violence.
So far, there is no word yet on whether those 2 letters found on this campus are connected, and anyway, anyone with information is urged to call Bradenton Police. Reporting live in Manatee County, I'm Marla Spence for ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
Okay, thank you, Marla. We'll have updates on any particular security threat at schools. We'll have them up to the minute on our breaking news app. You can find that at the App Store under WWSB or My Suncoast.
Well, in the wake of the Parkland school shooting, law enforcement leaders all across the state are looking at what they can do to prevent this from ever happening again. Some things that they are considering: also arming school employees, expanding background checks, and revamping the Baker Act law to keep guns from people who do have mental health issues. Governor Rick Scott's office quickly organized the workshops in response to the shooting that left 17 people dead.
It's much better if there's going to be a gun on campus that it's with a trained person to stop the shooter. The only thing worse than us having to have a shootout on a campus is us not being able to stop the shooter on the campus.
The public, I feel personally, is not going to tolerate anything less than security for their school now. And I'm not talking long-term solutions or legislative solutions that I think we have to work towards, because there are many, but I mean tomorrow.
The officers also talked about gaping loopholes in the Baker Act. Now, right now, officers cannot take guns away from people who make violent threats, as well as those who are released from mental health facilities.
Another major focus of these workshops is mental health screenings. Improved integration of data, coordination of care, and early screening and assessments are the top recommendations of mental health experts. That gunman, who is charged with 17 counts of murder, had a lengthy history of mental health issues, and the FBI received at least 2 reports that Nicholas Cruz posed a threat to others.
What is it about the young males in their development, or external factors, or media, or society that drives them to do these unspeakable, horrific things?
We have to be careful, I think, not to inadvertently contribute to the notion that people with mental illness are dangerous. I mean, that's something we're trying to get away from all these decades and centuries.
Experts also admit that identifying and treating every would-be school shooter like Cruz may not put an end to tragedies like the one last week in Parkland, but early assessments can significantly cut down on the possibilities.
The concerns from Stoneman Douglas students will be heard by state leaders and people all over the country. CNN will hold a town hall at the BB&T Center in South Florida starting at 9 o'clock tonight. You can watch the live coverage. We're going to be streaming it live on our website, mysuncoast.com, as well as from the app as well. You can stream it on our Facebook page too in its entirety.
All right, 6:07 now, on to other news this morning. The Trump administration is considering a tougher stance on trade with China, especially on placing heavy surcharges on steel and aluminum imports. China and Russia might both be viewed as threats by the Trump administration, but in no way are they equal. In fact, China is more than $500 billion more important, and that staggering amount of money supports entire industries here in the U.S. In order to bring change without a trade war, the U.S. will have to walk a fine line on new policies.
So close, so close. A conversation between the U.S. and North Korea almost happened during the Winter Olympics. However, plans were scrapped shortly before it was set to take place. CNN's John Lawrence has just why that meeting didn't take place.
Vice President Mike Pence hinted last week that he was interested in a sit-down with North Korean officials.
If there's an opportunity for talks that can communicate the fixed policy of the United States of America to them, the president's made it clear. He always believes in talking.
President Trump gave Pence the approval to meet with North Korea with a major caveat. The U.S. wasn't going to back off on demands that Pyongyang drop its nuclear weapons program.
This is a very difficult negotiation which has stymied President Obama, the second President Bush, President Clinton. It is not easy to negotiate with the North Koreans.
During the Olympics opening ceremony, Pence and his wife sat near Kim Yo-jong, the sister of North Korea's leader. And a meeting was penciled in for the following day at the Blue House in Seoul. However, shortly before the set time, the North Koreans opted out.
It would have been a very big deal, but it is also not a surprise that it didn't happen.
According to Pence's office, the last-minute cancellation shows U.S. attempts to apply pressure on North Korea are working. And there's always a chance a similar meeting will take place in the future.
The prospect of a meeting is a lot more important than the fact that the meeting didn't happen.
I'm John Lawrence reporting.
After returning to the U.S., the vice president said he purposely ignored Kim Jong-un during the opening ceremonies because he didn't want to give attention to someone who's not merely the sister of a dictator, but is the leader of the propaganda effort. That was a quote right from him.
The White House has another alternative to Obamacare this morning. The proposed regulation would make it easier to get coverage through short-term plans that don't have to abide by Obamacare's consumer protections. The plans are less expensive, but they can also exclude those with pre-existing conditions and set rates based on medical history.
And we have a follow-up this morning on the devastation caused by Cyclone Gita in New Zealand. A massive cleanup effort is now underway after that mudslide cut off 6,000 residents from the rest of the country. New Zealand Civil Defense Force says they will airlift food and supplies to people who are stranded there and that the road will reopen within the next few days. All right, you want to fly to Wakanda? You can, but you're going to have to travel to Atlanta first. The Hartsfield-Jackson Atlanta International Airport tweeted out a picture of a sign showing a flight to the fictional African nation of Wakanda. Now, of course, the country is featured in the huge mega hit Black Panther that just opened this weekend, breaking all kinds of box office records. It brought in more than $241 million in the long opening weekend, the most of any movie to debut over President's Day weekend.
Have you seen it yet?
I have. I loved it.
Really?
It's fantastic, yes. Yeah, it's the highest grossing movie since they released Deadpool, another Marvel property, a couple years ago.
Wow.
Love it. Great movie.
Still ahead, first alert traffic and John Scalzi's hot weather. And we're still in the thick of flu season for humans.
Thankfully, we have some better news for your pets when we come back.
But first, a peek at Washington, D.C. at 6:10 on this Wednesday morning. The rotunda lit up there on the inside. You're watching Good Morning Suncoast on ABC 7.
My name is Luke Perry, and I am 1 million strong. I'm in the fight against colorectal cancer because I believe we can win it. Colon and rectal cancers are the second leading cause of cancer deaths among men and women in the U.S. Colon cancer is preventable. Know the risk factors and make sure to get screened. There are simple, take-home options available. Take control of your health. Screening for colon cancer isn't embarrassing. It can be life-saving. To find out more about your options, visit fightcrc.org.
Head over to Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota, where you'll always get better prices and a bigger selection. Like the area's largest selection of 7-passenger vehicles. Get KBB's 2017 Best Buy Award overall winner, the Chrysler Pacifica, for just $25,999. Or load up the family in your new Dodge Grand Caravan for just $20,999. Drive away in a new Dodge Journey for as little as $17,999. Better prices, bigger selection. Go to Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota.
Attention, Americans eligible for Medicare. Are you getting all the benefits you're entitled to? Did you know there may be money available to lower your medical prescription costs? Call Health Markets and we'll tell you if you qualify.
Hi, I'm Dr. Martin Jeetsi. It's a new Medicare year. That means more changes and more confusion. The key question is, what can you do now to ensure you get the care you need in the coming year?
Call Health Markets today. You may qualify to save money on prescriptions. We'll help you find plans that may cost less, cover more, and could even lower your prescription costs to increase your savings. We help you find all the benefits you're entitled to, and we do it at no cost.
Make sure you have what you need to get the care that's right for you.
Find out if you qualify to receive extra help with your prescriptions. Call the number on the screen now. Representatives are standing by.
Loaded with big laughs, colorful characters, and the songs that made the 20s roar, Bullets Over Broadway is bringing musical theater back with a bang. Your attendance is requested at the Players Center for this wild Broadway musical opening February 21st. Call the Players at 365-2494 or visit the website at theplayers.org. This is one Broadway show that is sure to knock 'em dead.
Here we go. We're gonna go out there in the rain. You're gonna get wet. All right, here we go. Okay, quick. Oh yeah, yes. So much fun. Mwah. So wet.
Get breaking news alerts focused on the Suncoast. Download the ABC 7 News app. Now your ABC 7 First Alert Weather Forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
Temperatures still holding at the 70-degree mark across the region as they have been for the last 4 hours or so. If they drop down to 69 degrees, we will tie an all-time record for the day for a warm morning. If they stay at 70, we will break the all-time record for the day for a warm morning. In fact, yesterday we broke both of those records, warm morning as well as daytime high temperatures, and we're on the way to doing the same thing again today. Currently, we're at 70 degrees, dew point value at 69, almost 100% relative humidity, east wind coming in at about 11. That east wind is going to be important for the forecast today, as it's going to kind of keep our sea breeze pretty close to the coast, pinned close to the coast, and so its effectiveness as a cooling factor in the forecast today is going to be very limited with that easterly wind, turning even a little bit more southeasterly perhaps during the afternoon. High pressure, the dominant weather feature out in the Atlantic. Some drier air aloft, all combining together to provide us with very little chance of rainfall today. No cooling showers in the afternoon forecast today. We are looking at quiet conditions all across our region. Visibility is now still very good, coming in at about 8 to 10 miles across the region. So fog is not an issue this morning, absolutely not. And radar just not showing anything this afternoon either, most likely. 74 degrees by about 9 o'clock this morning. And then as we head into the lunchtime hour, most everyone will have broken the 80-degree mark by then. And we are well on our way to seeing temperatures that this afternoon will be up in the upper 80s once again. 87 is our record high temperature for today, and we're going to be coming very close to that, if not exceeding it and breaking it, making 3 days in a row for broken high temperature records. 7 p.m. this evening, 78 degrees, mix of sun, fair weather clouds, or rather clear skies and fair weather clouds. Should be a beautiful sunset, by the way. As we head into the afternoon, we'll watch that easterly wind continue, maybe a passing cloud or two. Plenty of sunshine around to boost our UV indexes. Right along the immediate coastline, we might catch a little bit of a sea breeze, but it will not extend very far inland, so its cooling effect will be very limited, and it will be very brief. As we head into the evening hours, temperatures fall into the 70s, and everywhere you look, there'll be no rain in the forecast, except back to the west. A lot of rain here, flooding potential from the Ohio Valley, the Ohio River, probably seeing some flooding rains all the way down toward Texas, where there could be some strong to severe weather today. If you're flying into Houston or New Orleans airports, there's going to be some airport delays. Low pressure area continues to lift off to the north and to the east. High pressure remains our dominant weather feature, providing us with this easterly to southeasterly wind flow, bringing warm temperatures, no rain, and lots of sunshine. If you look at the temperature trend, the low nighttime temperature trend over the course of the week ahead, it's really pretty flat. Not seeing any dips, no cold air coming our way. Very heavy rainfall, as I mentioned, through parts of the Ohio Valley, stretching back into Texas. Flooding issues will be a problem here, and you'll be seeing that in the news, no doubt. As you head out of port today, boaters, expect a southeast wind to switch more to the west near the coastline as the sea breeze forms light chop, 2 to 3 foot seas. Nice day for boating. The forecast calls for 88, our high today, 86 tomorrow. And then as we head into the weekend, we'll lower the temperature a little bit as that high pressure ridge kind of shifts a little further south and we spend more time with an onshore wind flow. But still, temperatures will be well above average. I've explained in detail why we're getting these warm temperatures on our website, mysuncoast.com. If you go to the weather page, it'll all be there for you, as well as our weather app at ABC7, the First Alert weather app. Back to you guys.
All right, thanks, John. Taking a look outside, your First Alert traffic this morning. Definitely starting to see a little bit more congestion out there. It's pretty typical around this time of the morning. If you're heading over the bridges into downtown Bradenton, definitely some congestion in that area, as well as 301 and State Road 70. If you're heading into Sarasota County, those roads are looking actually a little bit better than they normally do. We have a little bit of your normal slowdowns around University, Fruitville, and Bee Ridge, but not too much to see out there today. And then in South County, those roads are actually looking pretty good out there as well. Heading a little bit farther south, those roads are looking pretty good. You have a little congestion this morning around 41 right at that bend as you're coming into South Venice right in there. But other than that, not much to see out there in your traffic. It is 6:19.
Interesting story here. It's always important to wash your hands, especially during flu season. But how effective are those high-speed jet dryers in restrooms? A new study found those loud dryers actually spread more germs than you'd think. Microbiologists at the University of Westminster found that the jet air dryer dispersed over 190 times more germs than paper towels.
Well, we are still in the thick of flu season for us humans, but we do have some good news for you dog owners. Canine influenza is declining here on the Suncoast. So how do you know if you should still get your dog vaccinated?
You always have to think about the dog and their exposure. So if they are one of those dogs that can be around a lot of other dogs, meaning boarding, grooming, dog parks, then we would recommend it because it is in Florida.
Some of the symptoms of canine influenza include some of the same ones that we humans get: coughing, sneezing, eye discharge, the very same things that we often have.
6:20 right now. Still had a setback for some Broward County students who traveled to Tallahassee.
A preview of what they are taking to lawmakers coming up right after this.
Another warm day here on the Suncoast. 70 right now. We broke a record yesterday of 90. Real hot. There's a live shot of the Ringling Causeway at 6:21 on this Wednesday morning. You're watching Good Morning Suncoast.
So Matt told me to meet him at 7 a.m. sharp right here. It is now 7:01 a.m. You think Matt will leave without me? Hey, is Matt here?
Long gone.
Long gone.
Just missed him.
Just missed him.
All done.
Mr. Sparky guarantees they're on time and the repair is free, so chop chop.
Call 888-8-Sparky.
Matt, you started without me.
I finished without you too.
They're coming from Tampa, Fort Myers, even Orlando. They're coming from everywhere for the Sarasota Ford Promise. Our promise means a new car you'll love. If not, return it for one you do. At Sarasota Ford, we promise live market pricing. We monitor national pricing on our entire inventory, so you get the best deal. In fact, we guarantee it. Bring us any competitor's ad, and we'll beat it by at least $1,000. That's why they're coming from everywhere to Sarasota Ford, where 41 meets 301. SarasotaFord.com.
What if you had a medical emergency away from home?
My chest hurts. I can't breathe.
What you need is Mobile Help, America's premier mobile medical alert system. Most systems only work at home, but with Mobile Help, you get help outside the home with coverage nationwide on one of the largest cellular networks at the press of a button. Call the number on your screen for a free full-color brochure. We'll send you everything you need, including this base station, the patented mobile device, and the waterproof pendant and wrist button. You can also add the fall button that automatically detects falls and signals help. Call today and receive a risk-free 30-day trial. There is no equipment to buy and no long-term contract. For a limited time, you will also receive a free emergency key box with your plan purchase. Remember, Mobile Help keeps you safe coast to coast.
Call 1-800-916-8638. That's 1-800-916-8638.
I am the resident district manager on the FAU campus for Chartwell. Whenever I see Haley, I do not see a person with a disability. I see a person with extraordinary abilities. Haley is always smiling. She's always on time. She gives fantastic customer service and is always focused on any job that she's given.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to disabilitieswork.employflorida.com.
Meet Blue. Blue's not feeling well. The prescription? Generic medication. Blue wonders, do they really work as well as name brands? Yes, generics and name brand medications do work the same. Even though they may look different, generics have the same key ingredients. FDA approval is equally rigorous for generics to make sure they're as safe and effective as name brands. And Blue even saves some green, making him a little less, well, blue. Talk to your doctor about generics and visit fda.gov/generic drugs.
You are looking live at some beautiful clouds right there, kind of drifting above the horizon.
It's looking very good out there today. Another potentially record-breaking day. Warm air. So good to open that front door this morning and just feel warm as you walk outside.
Is it time for air conditioning?
No. Just want to sweat a little bit first. And then I'll turn the air conditioning on.
Welcome back. 6:24 right now. About 35,000 workers at Disney are demanding the bonuses they say they were promised last month. Disney announced a $1,000 bonus in the wake of tax reform. But the union there says Disney will only give its workers the bonus if they accept a wage offer that the union already voted against. That offer was 50 cents an hour raise.
Well, Winn-Dixie's parent company is planning to shut down nearly 200 stores. A Bloomberg report says Southeastern Grocer could shut down the stores either before or after a subsidiary of the same Jacksonville company that owns Winn-Dixie files for bankruptcy. Now, that company is facing nearly $1 billion in debt. No word yet on which stores will close and if there are any that are going to be here on the Suncoast. Well, survivors of the Florida school shooting are arriving in Tallahassee by the busloads, prepared to confront lawmakers about gun control.
ABC's Candace Gibson has details of their call for action.
In this morning's GMA First Look, 100 young people carrying sleeping bags and pillows as they boarded buses on an extraordinary lobbying mission. Just 1 week after surviving one of America's worst school shootings.
The first busload of Parkland students have arrived, and they're being greeted by a very large, enthusiastic, and sympathetic crowd of local high school students.
But while on the road from Parkland to Tallahassee, these young activists received some tough news.
So the motion is not adopted.
Florida lawmakers voting against even considering a ban on semi-automatic rifles. Some Parkland students were in the gallery for the vote, reacting with tears.
We're not going to give up. It doesn't matter if we don't have a receptive audience. If we're speaking our voice and at least one person hears us, that's the change we're looking for.
And we'll have a live report from Florida coming up at 7 a.m. with your GMA First Look. I'm Candace Gibson, ABC News.
I accept I don't bike the miles I used to. I even accept I have a higher risk of stroke due to AFib, a type of irregular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. But no matter where I ride, I go for my best. So if there's something better than warfarin, I'll go for that too. Eliquis. Eliquis reduced the risk of stroke better than warfarin, plus had less major bleeding than warfarin. Eliquis had both.
Don't stop taking Eliquis unless your doctor tells you to, as stopping increases your risk of having a stroke. Eliquis can cause serious and, in rare cases, fatal bleeding. Don't take Eliquis if you have an artificial heart valve or abnormal bleeding. While taking Eliquis, you may bruise more easily, and it may take longer than usual for any bleeding to stop. Seek immediate medical care for sudden signs of bleeding, like unusual bruising. Eliquis may increase your bleeding risk if you take certain medicines. Tell your doctor about all planned medical or dental procedures.
I'm still going for my best, and for Eliquis.
Ask your doctor about Eliquis.
Hey everybody, I'm Chef Bob Vitello. This is Chef Mark Positano.
How you doing,
What's up,
bud?
buddy? What you cooking for us today?
We're doing a nice marinated ribeye steak with a gnocchi and spinach. Nice thing with this dish, we're gonna get the steak going first, but this is the Publix spinach bacon bag, okay? So we're gonna start with our little bit of oil, and we're gonna put our ribeye steak. I like ribeye, it's one of my favorite steaks.
Mark always cooks all the steaks up here.
I love it.
Man. He's the steak cooker.
But the marinade is right out of the spinach bag, okay? So to that, we're gonna add a little bit of bacon. Everything's good with bacon, right, Bob?
Bacon and steak. I see gnocchis over there too.
Gnocchis too. We're gonna get
I don't
that
even
going.
know what to say.
So just start with some gnocchis. We're gonna put that right in the pan with that.
Did I make them for you?
You did not, but usually you do, Bob. Usually Bob makes all the gnocchis.
Aisle 3, you can get those. They're already made.
Of course.
Man. They're cool.
And then right in the back, we have some dry cranberries right into that pan. So it's like a one skillet dish. And then we're gonna add some almonds. All right, we're gonna add some almonds to that.
This is pretty festive, Mr. Positano.
Thank you, sir.
Get out of your way, cowboy.
You're fine.
You're good.
And then we're gonna add that spinach mix.
So the spinach is gonna cook with the gnocchis.
Yeah, it's gonna cook with the gnocchi. So you got like a sauce, kind of.
Beautiful.
Okay. And then you reserve some of that marinade, that salad dressing for the steak, and then you're gonna top it over the steak with that. So
medium rare.
Medium rare is
always,
mine.
Always.
Mine.
Want it well done, go somewhere else. Man.
Well done is not good for steaks, Bob.
It's
not good for steaks.
All right, Mark. Starting tomorrow, be sure to stop by your Publix Apron Simple Meals kiosk, pick up the recipe card and all the ingredients after sampling this delicious Positano dish.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
My name is Stefan Campagna. We're Ben Gates and Dramus, and here is your law tip of the week. If you've been injured in a car accident, the state of Florida only gives you a specific amount of time to file a claim. So act now, give us a call.
My name is Julius. I have cerebral palsy. I work for Farmer Jeffrey Weising Law Firm. I do a lot of data entry and scanning documents. I want to increase my working experience to make the company much better. At the end of the day, it's good to think of the day's work and to think about what I have accomplished.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to abilitieswork.employflorida.com.
You got a king?
Go fish!
It only takes a moment to make a moment. Take time to be a dad today.
Raycom Sports and Blizzard Entertainment are debuting a new 5-part series. It's called Heroes of the Dorm, and students from the Atlantic Coast region are competing in Blizzard's Heroes of the Storm for over $500,000 in scholarships and prizes. The tournament features teams from colleges across the United States and Canada battling in Heroes of the Storm, featuring characters and lore from almost 30 years of Blizzard Entertainment. We also go behind the scenes with some of these gamers to see what they're doing when they're not playing video games.
The skills you develop as a soldier in the Army National Guard can give you a head start on your career. Gain practical experience with technology and equipment that will give you a leg up in the civilian world. Learn critical leadership skills and to be part of a team. Serve your community and your country part-time while earning money for an education. Visit NationalGuard.com to learn about the paid training and career opportunities available to you in the Army National Guard.
So I kind of grew up all across the country. I come from 5 generations of military men. My dad is still active duty. My grandpa is retired Marines. I like going for runs with my dog. I love, taking her out to the dog beach over in Venice. There are so many things here to do on the Suncoast. My goal every day when I come into work at ABC7 is to tell your stories, give you that major local news and those details that you really care about. I'm Jacqueline Matter, and I'm here for you.
Check out My Suncoast Dining on mysuncoast.com, your guide to the foodie lifestyle. ABC7's own Chef Judy serves up her favorite recipes, cooking tips and trends, dining blog, step-by-step videos, and Suncoast Restaurant Guide. You'll find it all at mysuncoast.com/dining.
Coming up on Good Morning Suncoast, Governor Rick Scott plans to properly honor the victims for last week's school shooting in Parkland.
I'm live at Manatee High School, where security measures are being increased this morning after a letter threatening to shoot the school was found on campus yesterday.
And Sarasota City Commissioners vote to ban so-called conversion therapy. We'll tell you why this half hour on Good Morning Suncoast.
You're watching Good Morning Suncoast at 6:30.
Good morning to you on this Wednesday morning. I'm Stephanie Webb. It is 6:31. Thanks for waking up with us this morning.
Yeah, hello there. I'm Ray Collins, and we are going through some record heat right now. John says 5 degrees hotter than the record yesterday. That's amazing.
That's a lot of degrees. For a record, it's a lot of degrees. Usually you're a degree or two above to break a record, but 5 is significant. And it was the warmest of the month as well, the warmest day ever in February, and I think we're really headed toward possibly the warmest February on record. Yes, last month was the 5th warmest January on record. So, trend continues. School bus forecast looks good for you this morning. We'll have temperatures that will generally be running around the 70-degree mark for pickup time as we head into the drop-off time. Warm again, coming in around 86 degrees, and plenty of sunshine and warm temperatures. No rain in the forecast. Cooper in central Sarasota, one of our weather watchers, has 70 degrees. Becky in Omayaka, 63. And Morgan Lee in Bradenton, we haven't heard from in a while. Glad to have her back. 70 degrees there. No rain in the forecast today. It's going to be a dry day with daytime highs that steadily climb through the afternoon. It's 74 degrees by 9, by 12 noon, lunchtime 82. And as you head into the 3 p.m. hour, there you go, 88 degrees, probably breaking the old-time record of 87 degrees. So another warm one. Air conditioner on. Back to you guys.
This after weeks and weeks of chilly weather, December and January. There's the traffic situation right now. First off, in Manatee County, some delays there you'll find on 301 and State Road 70. Farther south in the upper half of Sarasota County. Not too much to report so far today. A little farther south, we'll check on the South County map, pretty clear. And we'll also check on Northport and the Charlotte County line, all clear right now. So let's go outside to our live camera. We're right now focused on the Ringling Bridge. A pretty shot there as dawn is starting to break out there.
It is looking beautiful out there this morning. Be safe on that commute. Well, continuing coverage this morning, a second note was found threatening a shooting at Manatee High School. Several threats now here on the Suncoast and in the Tampa Bay area as well. They've had one overnight in Pasco County as well. So there's a lot going on.
Strange times. Marla Spence joins us now live from the Manatee County High School campus with details of the increased police presence there. Marla?
Yeah, Ray and Stephanie, as you can see behind me, Bradenton police are at Manatee High School. This comes after an increase in security after a letter found at this campus stating a school shooting would be happening on the campus this morning was found just yesterday. Now, at Manatee High School, detectives were out here, and that's where they found that letter. And just yesterday, while investigating an initial letter in that threat from last week, both letters threatening a school shooting at Manatee High School as well. I spoke to the principal just moments ago here at the school, and he tells me there will be increased security and police on campus in and out of uniform, and also officers patrolling the perimeter of the school. The students connected to that first letter here at the school, only 14 years old, was arrested in connection to that threat. Law enforcement is warning students to stop social media threats and letters being written and left on campuses threatening school shootings. If they do have those threatening letters or they are seen on social media threatening schools, they could face serious consequences.
Making school threats is no joke, and people will be held accountable. So if you're a parent out there and you have kids in the school system, you need to sit down and talk to them.
So far, there's no word yet on whether those two letters found, one last week and the one yesterday, are connected in any way. Any information from anyone who know anything about those letters and the one specifically from yesterday, they're urged to call Bradenton Police. Reporting live in Manatee County, I'm Marla Spence for ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
All right, thanks, Marla. An interesting plan this morning coming from Sarasota County Sheriff Tom Knight. He wants to improve security at our local schools by putting retired law enforcement and military veterans on campuses. The retired veterans and officers would specifically learn defensive tactics for active shooter scenarios. Now, that added security would allow retired first responders to stay actively engaged in our community through the school's resource programs.
In this community, I have more retired police officers call me and say, what can I do to help? And I have police officers calling me right now who are retired from all over the nation saying, I want to help take care of our children in this community. What can I do to help you?
Now, Sheriff Knight says the state needs to change laws to allow retired officers to carry concealed weapons on campuses. Well, we are monitoring the threat this morning at Manatee High School. Now, you can sign up on our app to make sure that you get all alerts so you know if there are any threats on any of the campuses in our area. We're going to update you as new information becomes available. For the latest in breaking news, these stories, as well as traffic and weather, be sure to download our app. You can find it under WWSB or My Suncoast.
Now, students are keeping a close eye now on state and federal lawmakers when it comes to gun control. Survivors of the Parkland High School shooting met with state lawmakers in Tallahassee yesterday to press for new gun laws. ABC's Arlette Sines shows us what they're focusing on.
Survivors turned activists are storming Florida's Capitol to demand action.
This is not about Democrats, this is not about Republicans, this isn't left or right. This is a movement for humanity, for safety, for keeping our citizens alive.
1 week after the Parkland shooting, students are ramping up the pressure on state lawmakers.
We're talking about gun safety, we're talking about school safety, and we're talking about mental health.
While the students rode on buses to Tallahassee, Florida lawmakers voted to not consider a bill to ban assault rifles. One survivor watching the vote overcome with emotion.
It was a big punch in the gut.
In the nation's capital, President Trump directed his attorney general to find a way to ban bump stocks, a device not used in Parkland, but used in the Las Vegas rampage.
I signed a memorandum directing the attorney general to propose regulations to ban all devices that turn legal weapons into machine guns.
Democratic Senator Dianne Feinstein said the directive won't be enough, tweeting, "Legislation is the only answer." The president also wants to strengthen background checks while the White House is facing questions about assault weapons.
Does the president believe there should be an age limit for those who buy an AR-15? I think that's certainly something that's on the table for us to discuss.
President Trump will meet with high school students and teachers at the White House later today. An official guest list hasn't been released yet, but the White House says it will include people affected by the shootings in Parkland, Columbine, and Newtown. Arlette Sines, ABC News, Washington.
Well, Governor Rick Scott plans to properly honor the victims from last week's shooting. He's directing the Florida National Guard to honor the 3 fallen members of the Junior ROTC Corps from Stoneman Douglas High School. Florida Guard members will attend their funeral services and will pay respect to those Junior ROTC members as well as their families. And Oprah Winfrey is now supporting the March for Our Lives movement. The media mogul is matching George and Amal Clooney's donation of $500,000 to their cause. On Twitter, Oprah posted a statement saying that those students reminded her of the Freedom Riders back in the 1960s. The March for Our Lives movement on March 24th is being organized by students who survived the shooting at Stoneman Douglas High School.
Happening tonight, CNN will host a live town hall meeting from Broward County. The session will be at an arena in Sunrise, not too far from Parkland. You can watch live coverage on our website, mysuncoast.com. We'll stream it online and on Facebook in its entirety. Happening today, the Sheriff of Manatee County will once again look at what can be done to combat the opioid epidemic here on the Suncoast. Rick Wells will meet with the Bradenton chapter of Military Officers Association of America. This meeting is very timely. In Tallahassee right now, state lawmakers are debating whether to move forward with a bill that would limit the length of prescriptions for opioids in the Medicaid program. Limit it to just a 7-day supply only. Supporters of the House bill say that limit would help prevent patients from getting hooked on painkillers.
Well, Sarasota city leaders are tackling the controversial conversion therapy. Now, the city is considering adding an ordinance that would prohibit certain professionals from engaging in this type of therapy with minors. Now, of course, conversion therapy is typically used in counseling to try to change a person's sexual orientation. The City Commission agreed 3-2 to move forward with drafting an ordinance, but is also requesting more information on the issue.
Yeah, many cities nationwide are banning this, and Sarasota is the latest one to take a closer look at it.
Right, getting on board that as well.
Very controversial.
Still ahead on Good Morning Suncoast, the latest in your first alert weather and traffic, and a Sarasota park wants to make it a little more dog-friendly.
Reactions from local residents on this, though, when we come back. 6:42 right now, and you are watching Good Morning Suncoast on ABC 7.
Motor Trend said the new Alfa Romeo Giulia is hands down the best sports sedan you can buy today, and named it the 2018 Motor Trend Car of the Year. Rediscover your passion for driving at Sunset Alfa Romeo of Sarasota.
I just had a very educational ride with Nina.
Did you learn anything?
Where do I begin? So all this stuff goes into a safety check.
Yep.
It's a long list.
It's important stuff.
Test the smoke detector.
Yep.
Check the breaker box.
Yep.
Meter the GFCIs.
Ground fault circuit interrupters.
Well, I knew that.
Call 888-8-SPARKY.
Nina, you make it look easy.
Thanks, but don't do it yourself.
Who's your guy?
This is an important medical announcement. Bard IVC filters have been linked to punctured veins and problems with migration. Anyone who's received a Bard IVC filter must receive medical monitoring and may be entitled to substantial compensation. If you have the Bard Recovery G2 or G2 Express filter, you are in a class of patients who should be compensated for some expenses. Call now for a free assessment of your case and potential money damages. This call is confidential. There's no cost and you may be eligible. Juries have awarded millions of dollars to people who should have been warned about the risks of the Bard IVC filters. Call the IVC Filter Hotline if you or a loved one has received an IVC filter and experienced a vein puncture or required medical monitoring. You must call now.
Call 800-329-3089. 800-329-3089.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
Serving part-time as a soldier in the Army National Guard can give you a head start on your career. Gain practical experience with technology and equipment to get an edge in the civilian world. Learn about the paid training and career opportunities available to you at NationalGuard.com.
When evaluating the Alfa Romeo Stelvio, Car and Driver magazine said every crossover should be this good to drive. We agree. Rediscover your passion for driving at Alfa Romeo of Sarasota.
Now your ABC 7 First Alert weather forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
Oh, what a beautiful sunset it was last night. Jack Waters from Tacoma sent in this shot of the beautiful setting sun and the colors on the horizon. And Susan Humphreys, a regular, also sent in this one from Terracea, a beautiful shot there. With a little bit of fair weather cloudiness kind of reflecting the golden colors of the setting sun. Fred Seeger from KC Key, also another beautiful shot. We thank you for those pictures. Keep them coming. We'll get them on the air and share them with the rest of the folks out there. Nice way to start the day with those beautiful sunset shots. I think we'll have another beautiful sunset this evening as well, as we have very, very similar weather conditions in store for you. Temperatures across the region, well, we got a couple of 69s on the map now in Bradenton and Lakewood Ranch, but still holding fast at 70 in Sarasota, Venice, Inglewood, 69 degrees in Northport and Arcadia, 70, Mayaca City and Longboat Key coming in at 71. If we hold that 70-degree temperature for another hour, I think we'll break again a record for warm morning temperatures here on the Suncoast. Looking at 70 degrees with a dew point value coming in almost the same at 69. Makes it feel kind of sticky out there, a little bit on the humid side, I suppose. We may see dew point values climb into the 70s today, perhaps. East wind will shift a little more southeast this afternoon. Still over land, so I don't think we'll be surging our dew points, but a slow creep upward is possible. And I think the winds will probably elevate just a little bit as we head into the afternoon, kind of keeping that sea breeze pinned very close to the coastline. High pressure from the Atlantic kind of nosing in across the peninsula, sinking dome of air, not allowing clouds to rise, bring us another dry day. Plus the air aloft is still a little on the dry side, so I don't see any cooling rains in store for you today. It's going to be another warm one. We could use a little rain around here. We're down a little over 2 inches since the season began, since the winter season. So it'd be nice to see a little bit of rain around here before the fire season starts. Nothing in the way of any kind of radar echoes across the region. By 9 o'clock, we're at 74 degrees. As we head into the lunchtime hour, we'll crack the 80 mark. And then as we head into 3 o'clock, 88 degrees, mostly sunny skies, 78 degrees by 7 p.m. this evening. Hour by hour through the day into the morning, well, everything looks great by 9 o'clock. Nice morning commute, I think. No issues with fog or rain. As we head into the afternoon, temperatures begin to soar, getting pretty close to that 87-degree record that's held today. We'll probably exceed that, I think, or at least get very close to it. And then as we head into the evening hours, temperatures start to fall into the low 80s. Nighttime hours into the 70s, upper 70s, and we'll start off tomorrow morning with temperatures that'll be in the lower 70s once again, just as they are this morning. A line of showers back to the west separates the cold air back to the west from the warm air to the east. And that's the situation that is set up and is unchanging in the weather forecast. This frontal boundary, by the way, never makes it to Florida. It stalls out and washes away before ever bringing us any different weather. We continue on with this southeasterly wind flow, and we look for a very warm day once again. For boating today, nice southeast wind switching to the west at about 5 to 10 knots. That'll bring you a light chop with 2 to 3 foot seas, boaters. Nice day to be out on the waters, especially as temperatures will be warm today. 88 degrees this afternoon. Then tomorrow, 86 degrees. As we head into Friday, we start to cool it off a little bit as winds spend more time coming in off Gulf waters. But still, as we head into the weekend, temperatures still in the low 80s, well above average for this time of year. And that holds true into next week when we may be able to factor in a slight chance of a shower. Back to you.
All right, thanks, John. Let's take a look outside your first alert traffic. Starting to get busy around this time of the morning. As always, those bridges coming across are starting to get a little congested as you're heading into Bradenton, as well as 301 going north and southbound. Your usual morning traffic backups right in there. Now, of course, we've got your normal traffic backups again at Fruitville and Bee Ridge and University Parkway, as well as a little bit on that interchange of Clark Road and 75 right down there in the southern part of the county. If you're heading a little bit farther south, those roads are actually pretty congestion-free this morning. Those roads are running pretty smooth out out there. And heading a little farther south to the Venice and South Venice area, those traffic maps are looking pretty free and clear out there. Just a little bit of congestion at Hillsborough Road and Tarpon Point. But other than that, your roads are pretty good out there. 649 First Alert Traffic.
Congressman Tom Rooney is facing some backlash this morning after he didn't show up for a scheduled appearance last night in Nokomis. He was set to speak at a Republican Party function to discuss topics like the Parkland school shooting. The congressman backed out at the last minute, disappointing both supporters and some protesters outside who came to the meeting. You might recall on Monday, Rooney announced he will not seek re-election in November.
Another dog-friendly park may soon open in Sarasota. The city is hoping to convert Whitaker Park into a pet park. But some aren't feeling the idea and are worried that that change could create some health and safety issues. Now, currently you can bring your pets to the park. It's just not actually a designated pet park.
6:50 right now, your day's top local news headlines next, and a weather watcher with decades of experience.
That's right. She is dedicated to the weather. We're going to have her story right after this.
There's a peek outside at the Ringling Causeway at 6:51 on this Wednesday morning. Pretty shut out there.
Beautiful, gorgeous temperatures today. Another record-breaking heat outside. We are loving this weather.
Thousands of award-winning Honda SUVs are on sale from $189 a month during the Honda President's Day sales event. You've got to see these SUVs. Get a surprisingly spacious 2018 HR-V, $189 a month, or step up to Pilot for $289 a month with available seating for 8. Plus, we have Motor Trend's SUV of the Year, the 2018 CR-V, and Ridgeline, a Car and Driver's 10 Best. All on sale for up to $3,805, less than the competition, at your local Honda dealer.
What if you had a medical emergency away from home?
My chest hurts. I can't breathe.
What you need is Mobile Help, America's premier mobile medical alert system. Most systems only work at home, but with Mobile Help, you get help outside the home with coverage nationwide on one of the largest cellular networks at the press of a button. Call the number on your screen for a free full-color brochure. We'll send you everything you need, including this base station, the patented mobile device, and the waterproof pendant and wrist button. You can also add the fall button that automatically detects falls and signals help. Call today and receive a risk-free 30-day trial. There is no equipment to buy and no long-term contract. For a limited time, you will also receive a free emergency key box with your plan purchase. Remember, Mobile Help keeps you safe coast to coast.
Call 1-800-916-8638. That's 1-800-916-8638.
I actually started playing the game at 11 years old, so I started a little bit later than most players. But I was actually raised on Fighting Joe. The value here at Robert Trent Jones is unsurpassable. I mean, I have looked to other places. I've traveled all the way across the country. Everything is perfect as far as everything is the golf course, the rolling of the greens. Everything that I've encountered has just been absolutely incredible. And for the money that you spend, for the value that you actually get, it is unsurpassable. I'd recommend it for anybody.
Soldiers in the Army National Guard serve to give back to their country and communities. Their part-time commitment qualifies them for an array of benefits, such as affordable health and life insurance benefits, education benefits, including tuition assistance, student loan repayment and GI Bill programs, a retirement plan based on part-time service, and VA home mortgages. Visit NationalGuard.com to learn more about all the benefits available in the Army National Guard.
WWSB ABC7 is an equal opportunity employer, and we're looking for qualified people to join our dynamic team. For a list of current openings and to apply online, visit www.mysuncoast.com/contact/employment. If you're a motivated team player and you want a rewarding career in a fun, fast-paced working environment, WWSB ABC7 could be the perfect fit for you. Check out our list of openings now. Check out My Suncoast Dining on mysuncoast.com, your guide to the foodie lifestyle. ABC7's own Chef Judy serves up her favorite recipes, cooking tips and trends, dining blogs, step-by-step videos, and Suncoast Restaurant Guide. You'll find it all at mysuncoast.com/dining. Download the all-new ABC7 First Alert weather app now.
Here are today's top headlines. Governor Scott is directing the Florida National Guard to honor 3 fallen members of the Junior Reserve Officers Training Corps from last week's shooting. One of the 3 boys tried to help others when he was shot and killed in his JROTC uniform.
And in the wake of the Parkland school shooting, law enforcement leaders all across the state are looking at what they can do to prevent this from ever happening again.
Checking first alert traffic right now. Not too much to worry about so far today. Roads are generally clear, the usual spots, but otherwise pretty clear right now at 6:54.
So, again today, temperatures will be very warm, flirting with records. The record 87 may get up to 88 degrees today by 3 p.m. Very warm, pleasant day. Sunset quality, 4 beach balls out of 4. Should be a beautiful sky with a light wind.
All right, coming up on Good Morning America, here's a tune-in one. Chris Cornell's widow speaks out for the first time. Hear what she has to say about the Soundgarden frontman's shocking death in just a few minutes on Good Morning America.
And finally now, weather forecasting, as John knows all too well, has changed quite a bit over the past 50 years. But at Wisconsin's Mount Mary University, one thing hasn't changed. Here she is, folks, Sister Georgianne. She helps collect data for the National Weather Service for 50 years. She records the temperature and measures any rain or snowfall at the same time every day. Somebody you could use in your stable.
Bless her heart.
I love this. I love this. Dedicated to weather.
Speaking of things that never change, I love that story. I was driving down the street and there were a couple of guys working on the water lines.
Yeah.
Guess what they were doing?
What?
They were using divining rods.
Oh, that is old school.
Really?
Serious, yeah, right?
What year is
this? I know.
Everything old is new again.
We leave you now with a pretty picture of the Ringling Causeway as you wake up on this Wednesday morning.
All right, stick around. Good Morning America is coming up next.